right, let's officially start.
Yes, we're going to officially start.
We got to get dressed for the party.
Yes. Oh, that's right. You guys are going to the party.
Oh,
Yes. All right.
1, 2, 3, go.
Welcome to the Utah PTA Pulse Podcast. I'm Mike Williams, Director of Communications here with the Utah PTA. I'm usually saying to the left of me or the right of me, but you're to the front of me.
It's right there.
You're over there. We're going to start with Angelee.
I'm Angelee, Aedo, the Family Life Commissioner.
And I'm Cammy Whitchurch, the Community Engagement Commissioner.
And a special guest here. Go ahead.
Oh, special.
Yes.
Cindy
you are.
Gerhardt. I am the Healthy Minds Ambassador for National PTA.
Awesome.
So excited to have you.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. I'm the loud one in the vendor area. Yeah.
We love it.
So we are recording at convention. This is our second podcast that we've done at convention. And the first one, you're going to have to go back and listen to it because I didn't do a question, but I'm going to do a question.
Ooh,
Yeah.
question.
I always do a question at the beginning of our podcast. So this
Purple.
question
Oh, wait. I
is,
don't know.
Purple.
what is one thing you love about yourself?
Oh, who's going first?
Anyone,
Yeah.
Well, let's start.
Right.
Oh, you have to think about it for a moment?
Sometimes we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
If you know, go ahead.
I got one.
Okay.
Go.
I love that I'm a really good teacher. I think it's just a gift, and I'm really good at kind of figuring out what way it needs to be explained to that person and explaining it in a way that they understand.
I love that.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
I
awesome.
use that skill all the time, like all the time.
Not everyone has that, so that's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
it's a gift.
Good.
I think one of the things I like about myself is I'm a problem solver. I see things and I want to figure out how they work, or I want to be able to make it myself, or yeah. I think just not necessarily, well, even like solving, but I like to fix things, solve things, figure things out. So
Yeah.
Super. And much needed.
Like how to make a shimmer wall.
Oh, was that you?
Yes.
Oh my God, I loved it so much. And someone said, "Oh, that was amazing," and they told me how you did it. Oh, it's awesome.
You did it.
And I do have my picture in front of it. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Well, my dad once told me, he's like, Cam, you should have been an engineer.
Yes, or in operations. That's my former life. I was in operations.
Well,
yes.
Chit chat.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay,
What you got, Cindy?
I appreciate and have embraced my ability to adapt. And what I mean by that, for me, it's whatever room I'm in, whatever situation I'm in. I used to always, it was a growth thing where, this is who I am and this is how I'm going to be, and I'm going to walk in that room and I'm going to do this. But then learning that, and not just in a certain situation, but maybe in life in general, because you think you have a plan and you think you know what you're going to do, and then life goes, that's not in the script. I don't know what script you got, but that's not it. But something I've just learned, and I appreciate it, is my ability to adapt to whatever situation I'm in. And if I need to be more, then be more. Be confident enough to be more. If I need to be less and be the quiet person and listen, then just to be able to read whatever the situation is and not get so tied up into what my plan was or what my natural response would be, but to just read the room, read the situation, and be adaptable.
Wow.
So,
Awesome.
That's a really valuable skill. That's amazing.
Yeah.
didn't want it. But I said, adapt or die.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I love to hear everybody's stories. I like to hear, so I work with a lot of patients all day long, and I get to say, okay, I'm sitting with you for an hour, and I sit with patients for hours a day and get to hear their stories. And now I have a love for it. So when anyone is in a room, I go, I wonder what their story is. I bet they have some really cool story, and I love hearing why PTA.
Oh my God.
That is my favorite. When people are saying, this is why I PTA, I go, I want to hear your why PTA story.
Because everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
That's awesome. I
love
like
it.
that. Good job.
I like that too.
Good listening
It
skills.
shows that you're like caring too.
Totally caring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Good question.
Yeah.
Question,
That was very
Angelee.
thought-provoking.
Ooh.
Having to see yourself.
Yeah,
in a
that's the
positive
hard
light.
part.
It is.
It's
It really
hard.
is. We were watching something in the workshop about the grief-sensitive schools.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, they showed this amazing video with Elmo and from Sesame Street, and they're partnering with New York Life Foundation to talk about grief and address it. And one of the puppets was having some difficulty because they had lost their parent, and so they were saying, don't you remember what we learned when we were going through the grief counseling? We learned to hug ourselves, to say that things may not be the same as they were, but I'm still me, and I am, and then say something positive. And I thought, man, what a valuable tool to teach our kids, especially when they've gone through loss, because they lose their identity. And so that's something I learned today, and I'm going to take that back with me and share it with my grandbabies. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. I love it.
I know.
Yeah, well, and, leading by example. If we love ourselves, it helps our children see that it's okay to love yourself too. So.
And also admit whenever you
and
struggle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oops, my bad.
Yeah.
So here's a shameless plug.
Okay.
At the National PTA Convention, which is a virtual convention this year in June, I just recorded a workshop on anxiety. So while I am the Healthy Minds Ambassador, which has the umbrella of all the Healthy Minds initiatives, this one was specifically drilled down into anxiety and all of the tools that we have and resources we have available through National PTA to help parents navigate and identify. And as I started putting the workshop together, I realized, wait a minute, I have anxiety. We have anxiety as adults. All you got to do is turn on the news.
I know.
So we're all walking around with anxiety, and we're telegraphing that to our kids. And maybe we didn't handle the situation well, maybe we snapped, maybe we just didn't have time. So how could you expect a child to open up to you about their anxious feelings if you aren't willing to say, listen, I had a tough day. And I, didn't quite handle a situation with my coworker well. And by setting that example, like you said, if I'm going to talk it, I have to be able to walk it. So by putting the workshop together, it really helped me identify what my triggers were and what my responses are to those triggers, and then try to start solving some problems around what causes my anxiety. So putting the phone down every now and then.
I know, right? I think
Quiet
we
time.
can all benefit from that.
That's right.
Well, and I think sometimes when we're thinking about kids and we're working with kids, we want them to feel like we're always okay, and like everything is always fine, and it's not always fine, and you're not always okay. And so I think it's good, especially in your own family, to communicate those feelings and like, okay, we are having a hard time right now, but this is what we're gonna do to like still be positive, or to try to get ourselves out of whatever situation we might be in. And I don't know, we've been going through a hard time in my family recently, and I'm like, how much of the emotion that I'm feeling do I share with my family? Like, I don't want them to be like as sad as I am, but I want them to understand why I'm stressed about certain things, but also like how I'm going to be positive even though the situation is hard, and I know that it's taught me a lot recently, just kind of on how I'm handling things and what I want my kids to get out of it too, and I think PTA is in a really good position to help kids learn that skill as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel so fortunate to be able to work with this program, and like you were saying, being able to show them and let your kids see you like that. How do you ever teach a child how to have empathy if you don't put them in situations where they can practice empathy mom's having a hard time right now, so I'm gonna do my chores and not be a hindrance. I'm not gonna be a bother today, right? Not that we should use that as a tool, but just being honest about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's important. And I was having the conversation the other day with someone about, because I'm in the habit now, if someone comes to me and says something about what's going on in their family, I say, oh my gosh, National PTA, we have some resources, we have an anxiety assessment, we have talking points on how you can start the conversation with your kids, and I'm just going to the website and I'm printing things off and making little packets for people and handing them out and saying, just get the conversation started, because that's the key, is because I think there's a stigma around talking about mental health. So in this conversation with them, I said, can you imagine how emotionally stable we would be as adults if our parents had the resources through whether it's PTA or just in community in general, because they didn't talk about it back then. It's definitely a generational thing.
Yeah.
So I hope we're breaking the cycle. in this generation, this upcoming generation of children, with the movies like Inside Out 2, where they learn how to talk about their healthy feelings in fun ways. But hopefully, that cycle of suppressing it and keeping a stiff upper lip and pressing on, hopefully we can kind of push that to the side and say, good mental health means adapting and being able to function even though you're feeling anxiety and stuff. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and
It's good work.
I worry sometimes that the pendulum is like swinging really far over, that like we're just gonna like stay in our feelings. Here we didn't talk about our feelings, but now we're just gonna stay in the feelings. And I'm like, no, you have to like address your feelings for sure and realize that you're feeling them and feel them. But then we have to decide how we're going to move forward, and how we're going to be resilient through what we're going through.
Resiliency.
Yeah, and I'm worried that right now we're just stuck in the feelings. Like we're kind of forgetting how to be resilient.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want that word to become like a buzzword, because sometimes the buzzwords become bad words. But we really need to be teaching our kids and a lot of adults, again, how to be resilient.
Well, just in case you ever needed some resources for that, there is a tab on resiliency under the Healthy Minds program. So, shameless plug number 3.
So why don't you, since we've kind of led into it, why don't we have you explain what you do for Utah, or for Utah? Well, what you do for Utah is awesome.
I'll do anything for Utah. You guys, it's just been such an amazing time since I landed and got here. I mean, everybody's just been so
good.
You're
awesome
so great.
and fun.
I'm like, we can be best friends.
I'm ready to pack my stuff and move on up. That's right.
They all want to be Utah.
We all want to be here. That's right. That's right.
But do you want to explain what you do for National PTA and kind of how you got there?
How I got there.
Yeah, let's hear how it started.
So back in
Back in the day.
which was a Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
I'm sorry, that's a little Dane Cook joke. You guys are too young for that. You don't know that. So
Now I'm going to look it up, though.
right. Okay, short version, 5 kids. Got sucked in at one of the kindergarten registrations for just the easy job, right?
Always.
Just carnival.
Yeah.
It'll be easy. It'll be a breeze. The teachers will love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Lie.
I'm like, that's all a lie.
All a lie.
It's not you.
I
think the teachers hate it.
The teachers hated it, and like, wow, what a trial induction by fire. Yeah, couldn't I have started with room parent or box top chairs? No, I fell for it. But it just, and we got 5 kids, so you just have to, you're in it. Yeah. You're in it for the long game. And then I would say when the kids started getting older and they were in high school and didn't need, I wasn't as active at the high schools I was, still at the other schools. I got bit by the advocacy bug.
Oh, yeah.
I went to a state training, a state convention, and I took an advocacy class. And before that, everything had been program oriented.
Right. Yep.
Fundraising and reflections, and everything was program oriented. And then I learned about advocacy, and it just blew my mind. Wait a minute, I can put a name tag on and go talk to not just my superintendent, but then I could go talk to a legislator.
Yep.
And I could just really use my voice because I have a lot of opinions. But then once you say, how can I use my passion and my ability to, get into a room and sit down and have a conversation and connect, how can I use my story to move the needle and really have an impact on decision making? So advocacy is what got me to stay. And then opportunity just came through, so I ended up moving up to the state level. I was state president of Florida from 16 to 18, which was a great experience with some ups and downs. The downs we'll talk about off camera. But through that time, I also was able to get on the legislative committee for National PTA. Cool. And then I've served on the board of directors in governance for National. And thought I was going to retire and just, enjoy grandma life. And when I was asked if I would serve as the ambassador for the Healthy Minds program, you can't turn Yvonne Johnson down. She's pretty determined.
She seems pretty convincing.
And truthfully, just to be a little candid, I have a history of childhood trauma, which we all know that when childhood trauma is not addressed and healed, it turns into adult trauma. And so I've got a story, just like we all do. And she knows my story, and she said, I think this would be perfect for you because sound mental health and helping a child, mental health is just as important as physical health and making sure a child reaches their potential. So I couldn't say no. And it's just been I can't even tell you. I feel like I love everything else that I've done. The advocacy, take me to the state capitol, take me to DC. I want to. Well, not right now, but just because I'm in Utah, I don't want to go to DC. I want to stay here. Yeah. But advocacy may have been the core and the anchor that held me here, but now that I'm here and I'm able to do, because I'm back now to programs and all the things that we offer, which is what I'll be talking to you guys about tomorrow, is all the different programs we have and the funding opportunities. So I'm going to help the local units be able to put these on. I'm glad I never left because this is where I belong. It's what I love. And just if it helps just one child, that's all. It's worth it. Everything that we do. So anyway, that's my
I love it.
short story.
I love that. I think that's one of the strengths of PTA is being able to take people's strengths and put them, where they're best. That's what I'm looking for. Best suited? Yeah, best suited. Yeah. Where you can really shine and really bring something to the next level to really elevate it.
Yeah, I just absolutely adore it. I think it's my life's calling is to be able to just to advocate, and now I'm advocating for mental health and making sure that every child has that opportunity. I think 2020 was really the pivotal point when we saw resiliency just drop. There was separation, and when I've been able to in this role sit on webinars and with school psychologists and lots of different big organizations, pediatricians, to listen to the statistics of self-harm and suicide. And there are some dark subjects, but they need to be addressed. And then just being exposed to all the statistics with social media. And, there's a lot of work that the Healthy Minds, when it intersects with PTA Connected, there's a good intersection there where they talk about online safety and just making sure that the kids are ready. There's a readiness for them to be able to get onto social media. And I read a book recently called The Anxious Generation, which, boy, that's it's a tough read. I can't imagine being a parent and reading that book because I'd be petrified. I'd be taking cell phones away left and right. I didn't have to worry about that with my kids. They didn't have cell phones, right? But the front-facing camera just changed everything. And it's never really important until it's important. Yeah. And people will say, well, we're okay in our house. But do you know? No. Oh, we're not there yet, but you will be. Or we're past that, but are you? Mm-hmm. You just don't know. And so you start having the conversation. So I think the work's important, and I hope it continues. And because, again, there's a new generation coming. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I love.
I love that. Mm-hmm. And, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I love that. We've kind of talked off camera a little bit about this, but we've talked about passion, and your passion is there, and you're working with that passion, to make things better for our kids, and I think that's why a lot of us keep doing what we're doing, because we're passionate about it, and we see that need and we want to fill it the best that we can. And I don't know, I think there's something powerful when we say that we're doing this for every child.
Because we mean it.
Yeah. We mean it.
Right. It's real.
Yeah.
When I was state president, I had worked at that school after my kids left, and I said I couldn't leave. They finally just gave me a job. I said, fine, here's a job.
That happens to the rest of us.
But there's something about being on that side of the counter. When you're on this side and you're the parent, you think you know what goes on back here, but the responsibility and the day-to-day operations of trying to educate children and then manage all of the expectations and the standards and all the things that the district and the state put on you. Yep. It's just a whole new world. I had to go to all of my teachers that had taught my kids kids and apologize. I had no idea. But when you get behind the counter, and then I was a records clerk. So all these kids where I had been the PTA president and the, spirit sticks on Friday and car line and, all the fun stuff. Now I get to see what's going on with them. And, they were unstable housing and some of them were in foster care. And you don't know that when you're on the other side because you're just high-fiving kids in the hallway and, there's Miss Cindy. And you learn some stark realities about these kids. So when I was able to make it up in leadership to Florida PTA president, each president gets to have their own slogan. And my slogan, and we get to have our own logo, for your term, a logo and a slogan. And mine was a tree because the tree is the symbol for PTA. And 2 leaves had fallen on the ground. And that to me symbolized those kids that we just missed because we didn't see them and see that they had been dropped off by a cab in the morning and they didn't know who was picking them up in the afternoon because again we get so busy with all of our programs and fundraising and fun stuff that we just don't see that there are kids who are hurting. So the 2 leaves on the floor on the ground symbolize the ones that kind of fell through. And the slogan was all children are our children. So that meant a lot to me to remind people of that because again, just like with the mental health, it may be okay in your house, but it might not be okay next door because you just don't know what's going on in your neighborhood and you think you live in a neighborhood where everybody's got it going on, everything's good, but then 2020 hits and you just don't know.
You just don't know
things are
what's going on behind closed doors.
You have no idea.
And like you might come nicely dressed to church or whatever, but like
no.
At home, it's a different story.
We are really good at putting masks on.
I'm like, I was just like, we came in our nice clothes and I've just been yelling at my children.
Wait, we weren't doing it tonight.
So true.
Exactly. So you're right. We make a difference every day, even if we never see it. If we just provide resources and have an understanding that every child absolutely needs a chance. And we could go down this long rabbit hole of inclusivity and are you really giving every parent an opportunity to get engaged? But it's just important because that child has been put in our circle of influence for a reason. Whether they're in your school, your district, they're there for a reason. And how are we meeting their needs and meeting them where they are? So I never feel like we're doing the best we can. I always feel like we're doing great, but I always feel like there's more that we can do.
Totally.
Yeah.
One school I was talking to, they said that what they do with their kids is they have 5 adults that make contact with a certain group of kids every day. So they split the kids out into these sections of adults, and those adults make sure that those kids every day have a positive interaction with 5 adults. And and every staff member is involved in that, from the janitor to the teachers to the support staff to the aides, everybody has their group of kids. And when I heard that touched me so much because those kids that are falling through the cracks and those kids that they don't know if they're going to eat
That's right.
whenever, and they don't know what they're going home to, like at least they can go to school and know that they're going to see those 5 people and feel loved and supported by them.
It's so important.
And I think as PTA leaders, we kind of do that too. Like the kids see us and we say hi to them and we're showing that we care about them and they feel special and they know that like, oh, the PTA lady's here today. Like, PTA dad is here today. They care a lot when the dads come.
Oh my
Yes,
They love
they
love when the dads come.
Always.
And
We're just forgotten.
And when you take a job at the elementary school,
Yes.
so fun.
Right?
Oh, I feel like
You're a rock star. You're a rock star every day when you walk in.
Not every time. I love it.
That's fantastic.
It's the best.
And because again, you just don't know what's going on at home. It might be the only positive interaction that they have.
Yeah.
And so not only how can we help them, but even more than that, how can we help those families?
Yeah.
If those families are struggling, if the parents are working, multiple jobs, if they just don't have, the ability to get to kind of help, parent resource rooms. That's we said something earlier about continuing the passion and just constantly having that drive. Over the last 3 weeks, I had the opportunity to call the 17 winners of the grants that were handed out last year, and for the Healthy Minds, and just check in. And so, I send them a text, or I send them an email, or call them on the phone. I'm like, "Hi, this is Cindy with National PTA," and so they think I'm National PTA. So, it's this. And then I'm like, I'm a volunteer, okay? I'm like you. I've been there, done that, right? I know what you're going through. But talking to them and listening to their struggles, they had to change their date because, the district this and the school this, and it's the end of the school year. Maybe their frustrations with, we sent out 200 flyers and 30 people showed up, and I'm like, 30 people.
I know, that's good.
It's 30 kids that now have a better opportunity than they did before.
Yeah.
But no matter how tired I get or how hard it is to kind of work things in through my day, because we all have a schedule that can kind of get packed, it reignited something for me, being able to have a touch point with those local units, to hear some of the things that they're doing with their grant money, calming rooms and a yoga class and some, wellness fairs and just some of the incredible things that they're doing. And it lifted me because you can talk about it and see it on a screen and, go to a website and see the resources, and I can talk ad nauseum to people about it. But to hear that it's actually there and it's being done, man, it lit me all the way up. So that's probably why I'm on a high right now, because I just got to talk to 17 local units that, I even talked to Hawaii. It was really nice. I don't know what time of day it was, but whatever.
Well, it's so great when you see that they saw a need and they're trying to fill that
They're
need.
doing the work.
Yeah.
And you have to think about, one of the things I love about this association, it's 120 something years old, right? 127 years old now. And it all started because we were trying to take care of kids. We're trying to make sure that, nobody was dying in the mines and the factories, and we were making sure that they had immunizations, and it was for the protection of our kids. Here we are 127 years later, and what are we doing? We're trying to protect our kids. The work is never going to be done.
And some of the fights are still the same.
That's right. but here, every Founders Day, we sit in a room and we talk about our founders. And what I love to encourage people whenever, especially in Founders Day, if I get an opportunity to do a Founders Day address, in 10 or 15, 20 years from now, are they still going to be talking about you and the impact that you made in your county and in your school? Of course they are. So we're still doing the work, and I just love that legacy, because it's never going to end. The work is never going to end, and we just have to keep going, keep pushing.
Yep.
I love that.
And hopefully one day our kids will pick up the thing and run with it. Wouldn't that be great?
I know, right?
Oh my God.
But they're going to be like, my mom is a PTA.
Well, I'm here because my mom was. I mean, that's when I first learned about it. I volunteered my mom for everything, so it's all her fault.
That's awesome. So what advice, so you're a national volunteer.
Yes.
What advice, so maybe we have some members that, what's the next thing? I've maybe served on local council, or, I don't know. What's your advice, I guess, moving forward for these local leaders?
For local leaders. Mm-hmm. First of all, take a nap.
I can use a nap.
I know, mine is it nap time.
Self-care is very important. Carving out time in your day, because you can't pour from an empty cup.
No.
Okay, just saying.
I love that saying.
But there is
awesome.
There is a burnout, especially if you've been in an elementary school, which is constantly moving. And then you get to middle school and things kind of calm down. And then there's high school, and it's a little bit of a pickup again, but you're involved in sports and band and arts and stuff like that. So there is that opportunity after all the kids are grown and leave the nest, where you have that decision to make. And what I would love to tell those folks is, again, the work isn't done. You're so needed in committee work. The committee work is where things get done.
Yep.
And at the state level, I was so fortunate to get pulled onto a state committee. And I felt like a rock star, kind of like you are when you go in school, that, oh my gosh, just a few years ago, I was just a council president, and now I'm on a state committee. Oh my gosh. Because you learn so much more about the next level up. And even there's opportunities. Nobody says that you have to, there's no path And that's important too. There's no path that you say, well, first I've got to go from the local unit to the county, then from the county to the state, and the state to national. Absolutely not. No. There are needs everywhere. So if it's a local unit person and there's a need at the state level to serve on a committee, I encourage them to, fill out an application. Do you guys do like letters of interest and things like that when it comes to committees and
we
stuff?
just take sign-ups.
You take sign-ups. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You want to come? Come on.
Yeah. That's right.
Because serving on a committee is how you learn, again, you're on the other side of the counter now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're learning that next level of leadership. You're learning the value and the depth of what PTA is. I mean, the first time you go to a state convention and all you've ever done is gone to, you've done your local stuff. And then your county people, but the first time you come to a state convention, every time I saw a first timer in there today, we go ding, 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 ding. So, because their mind's blown.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I talked to a couple of them.
Mind's blown.
Overwhelmed.
But you know what it does, other than brand PTA, it really solidifies, and there's a word that's not coming to my brain right this moment, validates. It validates their, when they sit in the class and they hear about membership or they hear about, being the treasurer, all of their doubts and things that are happening at their school, it validates it because you're like, oh my God, I'm not the only person in it. Look, there's 25 people in here who are learning the same thing, and they're all sharing the same war stories. Oh, you ain't gonna believe what happened in my school. So you realize, first of all, this is a huge organization, and we've been around for a long time because we've got, outstanding, incredible leaders that are taking us, continuing to move us forward. But that it's not unique. Whatever you're experiencing, there is somebody who's going through it or somebody who has that can help. I think the support that local units have, the opportunity to be supported, if we would just communicate with them. Mm-hmm. And we do communicate, but sometimes that communication gets lost, the frustration from a state level and local units, I didn't know, and you just want to
sometimes I'm like, there's too many channels.
There's too many, yeah. I just tell everybody, just go to pta.org, and everything else you'll find out. I promise you'll find out. I promise you will. But I would encourage them because it's like recruiting for an army. The fight's not getting easier. With things that are happening right now, resources are going to be dwindling. And so it's going to be up to us as parents and caregivers and grandparents and the people who have a vested interest in education and children to really do the legwork. So we're recruiting for the Army. Or you know what I'm saying, the warriors that are going to take us forward and continue the good fight. So that's what I would say. Take a nap first. Take self-care. Once you're well rested, fill out the interest form. And see where you can be, because everybody's got a skill that can be used.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. Yeah, I love that. I always say
good listeners.
You're good listeners.
Yes. Great listeners. Excuse me. Great listeners. Yeah.
I always say there's a place for everyone in PTA.
Yeah.
Because I really do believe that there is.
There is.
Just finding it.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I think it's a great way to end the show.
Yeah. Resources. Programs.
Yes.
Sign up. Take a nap.
All the
Sign
Yeah.
up. Take a nap. Sign
I'm
up.
in the take the nap thing right now.
I know. I'm like, okay.
I'm excited to watch
about
it.
All right. So we end our show by dancing in our chairs.
We dance in our chairs. Is she lying?
No.
No, we're dancing
1,
in
2,
our chairs.
3. Let's do it.